get cracking then. What's going on, champs? Hope you guys doing well. So it's Wednesday today. FOMC, we all know the big FOMC is today. It's been a big one actually. I think the next 24 hours is going to be crazy because we got we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, everyone's talking about 100 BPS, 75 BPS, and if it's 75 BPS is bullish, this and that. Blood, what the fuck are you talking about? 75 BPS is bullish. Since when? That's bad. That's really bad, but it is a big day, Juan. Morning to you guys, man. So we got Thomas here. Morning to you, brother. Arcliano, Derry, what's going on, brother? Michael Caffrey, good to have you here. Guna, John Caboose. And you got Juan in the message as well. Smash likes, everybody. So we're gonna have a look at what the what's gonna happen as well. Dollar index as well. It looks bullish, still bullish. I don't think a breakdown's gonna happen anytime soon. We're still in that rain band environment that we talked about. So I do think we're gonna go a lot more higher. I'm not too sure what's going to happen in terms of BTC and Ethereum. We can look at some we can look at plans on what we can look for, bearish and bullish plays as well. But I've told the guys in the country club, and we're looking to make plans for we made plans on in terms of buying certain projects on a long-term basis as well. For example, Doge is definitely one, which is mad. Vegeta is Vegeta here? No, Vegeta's not here yet. Vegeta is a big Doge guy, so I'm looking to actually accumulate Doge in the lows, Solana in the lows. We got A0 at the lows. We got maybe a bit of ADA, Matic maybe. We'll see about that. BNB definitely. I'm looking at BNB to about $40. That's what I'm looking at for. But it's gonna get messy, and it's gonna get really messy. Put it this way: there's a lot more blood coming. I don't see why Bitcoin should hold or Ethereum should hold here. Yes, we're at a high time frame support. I get that, I understand that, but we're still in a macro bearish environment, right? And because we're in a macro bearish environment, we're gonna play this as we play this on the way down. So looking for shorts and whatnot, and you're just looking for key areas for resistance and breakdown as well. So we'll do the whole thing there, man. So let's see what happens, man. So we got who else? We got NR. Oh, bro, I'm feeling ill, NR, man. I'm really, really feeling ill. I've got the flu, so I got loads of aches and shit like that. The back of my neck and stuff like that. But I'm good. Feeling cold, that's why I'm wearing a hoodie. Who else we got? We got Tom. What's going on, Tom? Yuri, my man. Gold Meta, how you doing, brother? How high can dollar go? God only knows. 120 is what I'm looking at, potentially. Before we even have some reaction to break down, right? Which sounds kind of nasty, because that's a 10% move on dollar index on the upside. But we'll see what happens there. We'll make up plans there. We've got TCX there. Morning to you, brother. Justin. Let's see. Algorand. You know what? I'll be honest with you with Algo. I never really actually got into Algo. I never really actually, touched. I didn't really touch it. I played it a few day trades here and there. But I think I must have played it 4 or 5 times. And I got stopped out like 2 times out of it. So I was like, fuck this shit. That's what happened to me. But we can actually have a look at a few things, man. So let's just get cracking into it, man. See what's up. Let's get this up there. So, find a country club. You're always driving, bro. You're always driving. But then again, like where you're at is like time difference in it. Oh, it's like you're in Aussie, isn't it? Right. So it's late it's the evening now. You're coming back from work or something. Yeah. You know why Go Meta? Why they're talking about Nia? Because there was just a conference with Nia just recently. It was in Lisbon. I didn't go to it, but that's why there's a lot of talks about that. So it's more like, marketing in its own way. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not buying. I'm not holding any altcoins at the moment much. I've got a few bags here and there, which I'm looking to sell as we go down. But we'll see. See, even Pirates here in the house, man. David's in the house, man. Good to have you here as well, David. But yeah, man. I'll take the Doge. Justin's driving to work, man. Hope you guys, if you're going to work now, I hope you have a good day at work. And I do wish that you guys get out of work really soon. Well, preferably by around the bull run, everyone should be retiring. That's the plan. We're gonna retire everybody in the bull run. In the bull run, You guys are gonna quit work, and work's gonna fuck off from here, man. Fuck these guys. You're gonna work for yourself, and you do your own thing, right? You're gonna set your own business. You're gonna set your own you set yourself up. That's the key thing. That's all we give a shit about here on the Daink the Daink crew. That's all we give a shit. We don't care about working for others. Screw that shit, because working for others is just nasty. But anyway, we'll see. I mean, Ed, good to have you here, Ed. 1.5 hours one way. Yeah, dude. I know the feeling, dude, Justin, because when I used to work in, like, I'll tell you, my first shift as a pharmacist, I was so hungry for work. My first shift, I was in Birmingham. I took a shift in Middlesbrough. Now, I had no idea what Middlesbrough was. It's a 3-hour drive, and the pharmacy opens at 5 o'clock in the morning. I left home about 4:45, and then the pharmacy closed at 8 o'clock. I didn't get home till 1 o'clock. There was a massive accident on the way home. But you do what you gotta do to achieve, to grind in it. But hopefully in a year, 2 years down the line, you're out of your job and you're just at home doing your own thing with crypto or whatever you may be. Crypto, look, I'll be honest with you. Before we carry on, actually, let me chat to you guys quickly. Crypto is a means for me to, for me, I'm talking about my own personal thing, and you might feed off it as well. So if you do feed off it, happy days, and we can always talk about this in the future or whenever you guys want. But crypto is not a means to an end; it's a means to a beginning for me. What do I mean by that? Is that so? The greatest thing in life, right, is looking for like just to retire, to not work anymore, right? How many of us who are in our 30s wish, we want to retire at 40 or 50? We don't want to be at 60 or 65, and when the government says, yeah, we can retire, and that's when we retire. Fuck that shit, right? To me, it's like, my plan is over the next couple of months to years or 2 years, especially in the bull run, especially in 2024, 2025 bull run, that kind of move itself, what I'll be looking for is that my income that I've got from crypto, I'm going to reinvest that into businesses like houses. So I've spoken to a couple of financial advisors in terms of the UK and where to reinvest. Now I'm gonna pass this on to you guys for fun, just for free. Now I spoke about like where to reinvest. Where's the most? I'm looking for properties that has potential, because I'm not looking for properties like in London. It's too fucking expensive, right? It's out of my I can't even buy that. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's too expensive. So looking for potential setups where in the future, the next 5 to 10 years, the property value, not only does it, does multiples, but I'm getting income from it that pays off the mortgage, for example. So the key is like London. London itself is really congested. So a lot of people, what they do, they move outside to London. So areas like Watford, Reading, those kind of areas, Crawley, these areas there. Now that's becoming more congested. So whether the situation has moved over to Milton Keynes. Now Milton Keynes at the moment, which is about an hour away from London, and it's a direct train to get into central London. That's now becoming the popular place to actually buy properties. So people who actually work in London, they're moving to Milton Keynes. So my tutor, when I was doing my training himself, he actually was telling me this. This was like 5, 6 years ago. He was telling me straight up, like, Milton Keynes is going to be the place, blah, blah. Now, Milton Keynes is becoming more congested now. So where they're going to move next to? Birmingham. Birmingham is the next place. So I'm looking at properties like flats, 1-bedroom flats, 2-bedroom flats. They're like 150 grand, 180 grand, going to 220-230 in central Birmingham, and you get a direct train all the way to London in an hour and a half. And not only that, the Birmingham airport is looking to expand itself to actually grow, because Heathrow and Gatwick is really congested. So they're gonna have to shift it over to Birmingham. So that's me looking for, okay, I've already got a place in Birmingham. That's good for me. That's my own personal property. But now I'm looking to reinvest. It's Birmingham. Now, if you want something a bit more cheaper, that's going to be in the future, right? In the next 5 years or so, it's Liverpool. Liverpool's definitely a place I'm going to be buying properties over there. So I'm passing that on to you guys. So you guys can do what you want to do with it. Live in the UK, take advantage of that as well. And obviously, as I get to know people and actually understand more of the the landscape of things, of investments in the UK, I'm happy to pass it on. Sharing is caring, If I help you guys one day, you never know. You might be able to help me one day. Anyway, that's it. So let's see what's going on. Baldwin on Ape saying playing it. Did you guys actually play the OP trade that I just showed yesterday? That was a good one, actually. I'll show you. We'll go through that in a bit. And that's my target, escaping my full-time job, 100%, man. We all want to do that. We all want to do that. It's a matrix, like you said, man. Escape the matrix. Pirate, you can retire whenever you want, my friend. You're on another level. You're the whale in this group. That's what you are. Bless you, pirate. Tell us about your journey to pro trader, starting educating journey, and all the highs and lows. Oof, I can talk about that for a little while, you know. To be honest, I have to do an all-time high session, and then we can talk about like my journey in crypto and just life itself. Because there's a lot of, it's not just crypto there's lesson to be learned. There's just life in general. I mean, some of my downs and highs as well are always going to be something that you guys can always learn from. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like whatever I went through as well, my experience, I'm happy to pass that on. And those experience for you that you've learned from me, you can actually make that into a better situation for yourself instead of actually falling into the lows like me. But yeah, I want to publish novels and get the screenplays. Yeah. We'll send, no, 100% send it to me, Pyro. Because I've seen your artwork. She's a freaking artist, man, and a half. Really good as well. So you got a passion on screenplay. I love that as well. But yeah, see what's up. I'm a slave. I can't. Soon you retire, man. Once you get out, 2025, I think everyone gets all done. That's the plan. We'll 2025 buy land and I'll build the property for you. Oh, Tom, are you a geezer? Actually, does construction work? Because I'm gonna need your number then. If that's the case. But land is the one. You know what it is? It's like, you know, land is your NFT. You know, because it's sacred. Because they're not making more lands. There's no way they're making more lands. So if you buy lands, eventually the congestion, and that's why they're saying this whole overpopulation thing is happening. But the supply is low, the demand is high. Just like trading, it's just a similar thing. So, yo Joel, how's it going, brother? Gandalf's in the house as well. We may retire, but the grind always goes on. 100%. I think, you know what it is for me is like, you know, I want to grind, but I want to get to a point now, like in the next, by 2025, right, that my grinding is a lot less. I've done all the grinding I've done for the last 5 years in trading, right? How much more of a grind do I need to do? You know, how much money do I need? I just need a certain amount to keep me going and just reinvest the whole shit, you know what I'm saying? Juan's from Argentina. He is literally impossible to buy a house. Oh shit, is it? How much is a house in Argentina, if you don't mind me asking, Juan? Yo, Wei, how's it going, Wei? Good to see you. Morning. Right now I'm in in terms of trading, so I won't be really trading pre FOMC unless there's a clear setup kind of thing. And post FOMC, I'm looking for 2 hours afterwards. When the dust settles, then I'll start stepping in. Nam bought greenbelt land in 70s. It got turned into buildable land a few years ago. Made serious money off that. Fucking sick. I'll tell you something. When I was working in a bank when I was in my in uni, I worked in a bank called BNP Paribas. It's a French bank. Sorry about that. Got some work going on outside. Yeah, and there was this bloke that came here. You know, he gave me a call and he wanted to remortgage his property. And what happened was, like, it's a bit loud, isn't it? Sorry about that. Okay, that's it. Yeah. So like, there's this bloke, right? He bought a house in London, and it's in central London. I can't remember which area. I think it was in Kensington, somewhere around that area. So it's really central London. Back in 1950s, right? He bought that for £500, right? And obviously, like in those days in the UK, it was shillings, so it was expensive for him, obviously. And so when he remortgaged his property, the value of it was 1.7 million. That's freaking crazy. When I saw that, I'm like, yo, that's mad. That's mad. But you think, yeah, it's bad in Italy. It's bad everywhere in the UK as well. Like the property, I bought this house here 3 years ago. October the 11th will be 3 years, and the value has gone up by over 50% in 3 years. So I bought it in, like, I'm quite fortunate. I'm very fortunate by that. And that wasn't even crypto. That was just me working my ass off and getting to this position. House demolished going on over there. And nah, there's no demolishing there. They're just not building enough houses. I spoke to one of the advisors I spoke to. He was saying to me in the 90s, they were talking about building 50,000 houses a year, but the real demand wasn't 50,000. It was 150,000, and that was in '96 when he started actually investing in properties. And he goes to me like, now it's just on a insane level. It's more than 150,000 they need to build up per year to actually accommodate everyone else. So it's just really shit, man. Oh, demolished. No. Thank you, Kabul. No. I've got some work. It's minor work going on at home in it. So they're just outside, just cutting and shit like that. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get working. Let's just see what's going on. So today is the big day. FOMC. We all know what's going on with FOMC. We talked about that. It's when the Feds are gonna discuss what the rates are. They hiking, or they're gonna bring the rates up or bring the rates down. If they bring the rates up, that's not good, right? So I think last time was it 75 BPS, and there's talks about it being at 75, and that's good. That's not good in my opinion. I think that's really bad. The reason why is that they haven't brought anything down. It's still high. That means like the Feds hasn't actually had control of the interest rates. And there's also talks about before how interest rates, like the Feds didn't believe that like the end of year of 2022 that the interest rate could be at 4%, and now they're saying it can be at 4%. If that's the case, if you're saying it now, and you've changed the meaning of what a recession is from 2 quarters to now 4 quarters, you're just trying to delay the whole process of actually saying this is a recession. And when we get into a recession, when they claim it officially, because we've been saying it. Crypto, CT, everyone across the world, right? Like who aren't who's not, into that kind of job prospect. We've been saying it's a recession, but the Feds are fighting it, and they're trying to do a good job about it. But it's a shithole. It really is a shithole. Dollar index looks really bullish. The Treasury US 10-year bond yield looks bullish as well, which means that it's not good. We'll talk about that in just a moment. So that's going to happen at 7 o'clock of the UK time, right? 7 o'clock in the UK time is when we're going to have the FOMC federal rates. So we got some time, to make a trade here and there, and we'll see how it goes from there. Tomorrow, the Bank of Japan is going to have a press conference. We've got SMB monetary policy assessment. We got the policy rate for the SMB for the for the CHF Chinese. No, for CHF. What's CHF? It's Swiss, isn't it? Swiss. I'm going blank here. CHF. Currency. I'm being blank here. Is it? Yeah, Swiss. Yeah, Swiss franc. That's it. CHF. Fucking what a numpty. Yeah, the Swiss franc as well. So Swiss bank is gonna be talking tomorrow. The pound sterling is gonna be talking tomorrow. Then on Friday we got some fucking German manufacturing flash PMI. We got the French PMI. We got the British PMI, and we got the dollar. I think the American PMI. And we have Friday tomorrow. On Friday, we also have the Fed chair. Powell will speak on Friday. So it's going to be a very, very nasty week in my opinion. So we'll see what happens. Looking at dollar index now. You have too many properties developers holding land and driving the prices up so they can make... Yeah, 100%. Your house worth like 300, 400k now. A bit more than that. A lot more than that. Yeah, a lot more than 400. I bought it for 325 at the time. 325,000. At that time I was like, yo, this is a lot of money. But then I did it because the area was really good. It was like the best area in Birmingham and Solihull. But yeah, it's mad. It's mad now. I mean, I think it's like 450 or some shit like that. Nah, more than that. It's more than that. It's definitely more than 450. The last time I actually got it, I think it revalued was last year. So, and that was at it's about 450. And obviously the price is still going up. Getting a ticket. Pyro, how are you not driving with no insurance? It's famous to buy a Dubai property. Do you know what? I always wanted to go to Dubai. I was thinking about it before, but I don't think I'll go there. The value will go up and whatnot, but I don't know. I see myself staying over here. Anyway, let's get back into dollar index. Dollar index, what's going on? So we've got a channel going on here, as you can see. Nothing too special there. Bullish channel, low, high. We're just making this play over here. We have some deviation on the upside, deviation there. What's going on over here? We don't fucking know. We'll find out what's going on. But if we just look at it as this, let's look on the weekly, just strictly as a clean range bound environment. We're just going to talk about that. So if I just get this, let's see. So that's the low, right? That's the mid range. I'm going to draw this out just to make it a bit more neat, because what it is, there's just a lot of lines which can be confusing to a lot of us, which is not a problem. And that's the range high. Okay, there we go. All right, so now all we're going to do, actually, we're going to just mark this level here as well. I'm just going to mark this level here because we know this is a range bound environment, and we're just going to talk about this as we go on. Right, so price has done something quite interesting. Okay, so we know here at this bottom of the section of here, let me just change the color. There we go. Price was consolidating here for about good 7 years. I know we had a couple of deviation on the upside and then down below. Doesn't really matter. But the focus of price, the main aspect was here. This is where the price was getting capped at this high and this low here. Okay, and now we got above it. We're taking out these highs. Bullish market structure. You know, we were looking for a retest here, maybe down into this to the range higher, and then reclaim and then step back in. That's what we're looking for. But the fact that it's actually just left this range over here and now step into this range, right? Now we're going to start focusing in this area. So what happened is we found support on range low, right? Because you can see you got high, rejected off it, came back in, found support, and now we're up at the 25% of the range. Okay, that's target one really, right? It's a range bound environment. Now what we're looking for is certain areas. So one area that we're looking for a reaction, which I suspect is going to happen, is right here, which is about 113, I believe. Let's have a look. 111.3. Yeah, 111.3 is the first reaction. Well, I expect some sort of reaction of a pullback. It could be something like this. Maybe come back down into this high over here, and then reclaim, hold above it, back into the mid range. To me, like I said, when we play a range bound environment, we're going to focus between the low and the mid. So that'll be target one. Once we get up, if we get up and hold above it, then it'll be target two, and I can see this happening here, back to about 120, at least at these highs, and we'll see if we can get these highs afterwards. We don't even fucking know, right? Interest rate is going up, and as the interest rate is going up, I think it's going to get a lot more worse, right? In terms of actually, so if the interest rate doesn't get controlled, this dollar index is going to have a lot more higher value, right? And we'll find out today what's going to happen. We'll find out what's going to happen in October, November, December. And by December, if they haven't got it controlled, they're going to say it's a recession. And the claim is going to be a recession. And then I wouldn't be surprised if we just pop up one time. We take out these highs, we don't fucking know. But if this happens here, trust me, your stock's going to go down, and Bitcoin's going to go down, Ethereum's going to go down, and we start looking for what's going to happen. Because look, price is always in a range. You just got to find out what the range is. I'm not buying anything in terms of alts. I have no interest to buy anything at the moment. The reason why is that if they haven't got control on the interest rate, why would you buy anything? You know, we all got stuff to worry about. The thing is to worry about is like your bills and rent and stuff like that, mortgage, all that kind of stuff. So the fuck we're worrying about freaking altcoins. Altcoins will have its thing. We'll talk about altcoins in a bit, right? I'll give you an example of what I'm looking for accumulation in terms of altcoins, but we'll talk about it in a bit. Anyway, so that's what I'm looking for. But today, let's have a look what's going on today. I'll delete everything else. That's just the outlook of it in terms of it. Yes, we got a channel. Generally, right? Generally, what happens is with a channel, what we're looking for is for it to break down and then come back down. And that's then the channel's broken, and this low here will be, like, for example, here will be a trigger for you to enter for shorts, playing it back into, you know, a lot more lower, right? But it has happened where price gets above the channel and hold above and find support. It has happened, right? So we just got to play this level to level. Now, if I were to look at it this way, let's look at the daily. Just run it down and see what happens, all right? Let's look at the daily here on dollar index, right? Let's just mark out a range, right? One of my favorite ranges is Monday's range. So this is Monday's high and this is Monday's low. The next day on Tuesday, can you see what happened? We took out liquidity on Monday's high and did the same for Monday's low. And then what happened is we got up. So already, right off the bat, we can say, right, if it was going to be bullish, right, and you retest and hold above it, will be to take out these, well, to go back to the 25% of the range. Once we reclaim it and hold above it to this 111.3 area that I was talking about, we might retest it into this trend line itself, maybe into the 25% of the range. And then once we reclaim and hold above it, then Bob's your uncle, we're going to mid-range. That's my honest opinion in terms of dollar index, right? Where am I wrong? If we get back into this range and start playing back into this range, what that means is this price action was just a deviation of Monday's range. We play it back to Monday's mid and then straight back down to Monday's low. If we start losing Monday's low, especially this low over here, we lose this. That's your trigger. That's your confirmation to go back down to the mid range over here, at least to, let's have a look. Yeah, at least to this actually. to there. See how we react off this mid-range of the channel. Maybe if we start losing this more, then we can go back down to the range low, because we're playing within this range then. This is a quadrant itself, and if we lose support, back down, and we'll see what happens there. Back into the channel. From this channel, if we were to be bullish, bearish, something like this would do. All right, that's what we're looking for if we were to be bearish, and that's what we're looking to get wrong. But price can easily do this, for example, right? Come back here, find support, and still reclaim back into Monday's low. Let's show Monday's low properly. Across, back into Monday's low, and what will happen is we can play back to mid-range, back to range high, Monday's high, which is there, and then we'll see what happens there. Do we reclaim and carry on going higher? And this was just a deviation of Monday's range. Does that make sense to you, everyone? Morning, Vegeta. How's it going, brother? Good to have you here. I never give up. Good to have you here as well. What's good? Mo, good to have you. M, nice to have you here, champ. My other car got destroyed. This one was sitting in my garage with no insurance. Didn't had time to do it. Oh, you mean you didn't have time to do it? Fucking hell, pirate man. There's always a trouble with you, innit? Take care of yourself. Good luck, right? And then we'll speak soon, okay? Pirate man. She's such a cool person, but she's fucking crazy though, innit? she's proper in the head, innit? Bloody hell, man. I love her to bits, man. She's so cool, but she is nuts though, I gotta say. We're just putting some stupid kid back to his basement. Sorry, but shit, bro. What happened? Alright, cool. So that's dollar index. We'll see what happens. Remember, FOMC is going to be volatile, so we could see a whipsaw. So price could do something like this, right? Right. So we know we got this is Monday's high and this is Monday's low. Price could come back down and then do something like that. Or if you were to do this, break down, then we know what happened. Like I said, let this happen. Let this whipsaw happen on both sides of the market, however he wants to do. Because what tends to happen, a little secret to you guys, right? The first moment of when price does something of FOMC, I tend to look for the opposite, right? So if I see a pump, right? If I see a pump, then I'll start looking for like breakdown like this, and then I start playing the shorts from there. We'll talk about that afterwards, right? One day what we'll have to do, we have to do a live session on FOMC. I think that'll be quite good to show you how you can play the FOMC game, right? But then I'll be looking for a short here. However, it doesn't always have to do that. You could do this, reclaim this high, then we'll start looking for longs. So it's all about being patient, and which is why I like to leave that 2 hour gap, just to let things happen. You're considering playing XRP. We can talk about XRP in a bit, actually. I don't see why not. I know that was all over the place on Twitter on XRP, but I think XRP might be a breakdown in my opinion. That's my opinion, but we'll see. We'll make plans. It's good to have a coffee, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. All right, so that's the dollar index. Let's touch ES. What's happening with ES? Well, nothing much has changed really on ES, really. Right. So we're still in this range, this between this mid-range to 2021's range low. We're still in that. You can break this down into a smaller quadrant between the 25% and the range low. Okay. So if I were to do like a Fibonacci and split this into a quadrant, right? Split this. What we're looking at. Let's have a look. Let me just remove some of this crap. Right, okay, cool. Look where we are. You see where we're bouncing off? That's 75% of the range. That's where we're bouncing off, right here. Okay, so which means if you look at it this way, if we're back into this range, if this is a range bound environment from this high to this low, what do we look for? The mid range. So let it do its thing, right? Once it breaks down, back into range low. So if I were to narrow it down, let's have a look at narrowing it down. Let's go on the 4 hours. Let's see what we got here. Cool. So we know we've got this little area here, and I can see us coming into this area for a reaction, right? Which is why I haven't really been bullish on ES, and it just so happened to be that this little area of consolidation over here, right, is the mid range over here, which is the mid range of from this high to this low. Make sense? So, pullback scenario. Let's look at pullback scenarios, okay? So, yes. I mean, we could come into this area here, to be honest. We can pull back into this area here. Right? I wouldn't mind that. Pull back into this area. Once it breaks down, That to me is a short back here, 25% of the range. Play it back down to range low, to mid range. Play it back down to mid to here, and then you see this low here. Once we lose that low, to me that is a shorting opportunity back down here over here. So whichever way it comes down, whether price comes over here or price breaks down from this low, doesn't really matter. We know the mid range is in play. So that's what I'm looking for. We're gonna find some sort of resistance off this area here. Let me show you. Whoops. Let me get this back up. There. Here. Yeah, that's where price is getting capped at. You see that price getting capped from this bodily candle right here. We've got support, deviation, come out, and resistance. We lose this area of resistance and a deviation of this range. So price can still come up to here and might not retest this area here and then break down. So whichever it does, we're looking for the breakdown, then we start looking for it. But your confirmation is breakdown from here, and that's your confirmation back into the mid range. Once we get to the mid range, see how we react. If we hold above it, we cut the trade, right? But if we start losing it, then we know what's going to happen. Back into 25% of the range and then lose it back to range low. Once we get here, it doesn't look fucking good though, because if you look at it this way, I'm going to be honest with you, just literally let's zoom out here. Look at price. How is this bullish? We've got from low, so we got from the low to the mid to the high. Then we've got the high to the mid to the low, and then we've got low to the mid. We should be going mid to high, right? That's what we should be doing. Follows the pattern. But what we're doing now is now mid to low. How is that good? It's bearish market structure all the way through anyway, right? I mean, we're losing key levels. So if you look at what key levels are we losing, well, we lost the mid range, right? That was just a deviation of the mid range. We lost that key level. We lost this level over here, right? Found resistance right there. We've lost the 25% range. We come into here, we're wicking it off there. What's next now? Like, what's next? Well, we have to come here. We have to come back down to mid range, at least to range low, at least to a minimum into this area consolidation. You see this area here? This was the first area where price. I mean, you know what? Let's fucking zoom into this shit so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Are you guys following me? I hope you so. I hope so. If you guys are not, please say so as well. You see this low, this high, and this low over there, right from here, this area there. Look what happened with price. When price got up, we retested it once, we go up. We didn't retest it the second time. We found some support off this, right? Then we shot up to mid range, and now what's happening? We're coming back to the point of origin, which is over here. And the point of origin comes in about around 37. Let's go 37.15. That's the point of origin. I do expect a bounce to happen. It may come up to here and then break down and then come into the range low. And then from the range low, we see what happens if we break down, or do we hold above it? We don't fucking know. But looking at the macro itself, just look at the weekly, man. This does not look good. It's the same thing that happened here. So do you remember like the 2018 bull run? The 2020 crash that happened there. Look, we had a range band environment here. Let's say this is the low, so this is the high there, okay? And that's the range band environment. What we got is, I remember watching this happen as well. That was a deviation, come down, come a deviation there. We step back in, then we had a deviation, which come back here. We found support off the mid, I think it was around the mid range approximately. Then we go up, back up there, we find support, bullish market structure, all good. Come up there, bullish market structure because we're taking at highs. And then we shut down. We found support the first time. See how important that pivotal level is? Then we come back down, do a deviation, and then we come back up and then go up. A crash is what's needed. And this was like a reset, because when he crashed, where did it bounce off there? Literally bounce off these area here, this high here, this high there. That's where it bounced off there. So now, if I'm looking for a crash, right, where would I expect the crash to be? At least to a minimum. I can see us come into this area. You see this area here? There. And then from there, we'll see it level to level. How do we react off there? If I were to drag this across, what happened there? Into this area there. Let's have a look. Yeah, like that. So we're just in this little zone. This little zone over here. So that's where I see price coming down once we get losing the range low. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, I could be wrong, but I just don't think the global economics is really good in my way, in my view. Interesting XRP. Ooh, Yeah, I wouldn't mind accumulating XRP. They've been going through that court case for quite some time, haven't they? Anyway, so let's go to the next one. Bitcoin dominance. What's going on in Bitcoin dominance? We know what's happening. We're back into range low. From range low, we're going to the mid-range. Yeah, we're capped at 2 price ranges there. Not much to talk about. This low here is capping the market. It's holding support. This low here is holding as resistance there. So the question is that we're going to range band here. Once we get back above and hold it, then mid-range at least to this area first, and then mid-range. Then from the mid-range, see how we react into this area. See all this inefficiency? At least come back to here, and then to range high, back into this blue box over there. So it's going to have to break. I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I think in my opinion, the fact that we found support here after weekly, right? It's support. It's not even a deviation. That was a deviation. That was a support. That was a very fast wick into it. A lot of people got tricked into it thinking they're going to do 35% around over here. But once it steps back in, it's a range bound environment until proven otherwise. How would I actually predict that it wasn't going to be a range bound environment? Well, let's go on the daily. I'm going to show you something. You see this? See this low here? Bring this up there. Some alpha shit that I'm giving to you guys. See this low here? Look what happened there. So we got this low. That was support. We got back up and carried on. Then we came back into the point of origin, which is back into here. We found support, bounce off it, come back down. Now all I need to see is for us to break down, find resistance off this level, and then start losing the level. This would have been my confirmation for me to enter a short. But look what happened the next candle. When we get below it, right? We shot back up, and that was it. So if Bitcoin dominance is going up, that means not many people is going to actually buy into alts. Bitcoin, like people actually are buying Bitcoin really. The dominance is going up from like, I don't know, fucking 2% actually. It's gone up. Good 2% has moved up. So it just shows that you got to think of it this way. It's not about buying, DCAing, this and that. And whoever talks about DCA, do me a favor, tell them to shut the fuck up in it, right? What do you know about DCA? You've been talking about DCA from 69k, 63k, 55k. There's loads of plonkers out there who just doesn't know the game, doesn't know how to trade, right? And we're talking about diamond hands. It happened back in May 2021. Diamond hand this, diamond hand that, this and that. I got diamond. Shut the fucking hands up, man. My brother, stick your fucking hands up your asshole and come talk about diamond hands. Let's see what color it comes out of. Because DCA is for back holders. It's for I think you can't DCA. You can use dollar cost average, bro. Whoever made that whoever made it up is made that terminology is just a dumbass in my opinion. Why would you look? If I was DCAing, right, you're gonna start telling me to DCA over here. Oh, it's coming to the mid range. DCA over here. Oh, it's coming to the 25%. Oh, DCA here. Oh, DCA here, bro. Your average buy is so bad. Look at fucking Sailor. His average buy right now, he just bought $6 million worth of Bitcoin. Good for him. Good for MicroStrategy. Whatever, right? It's not our money anyway. So we have no right to say what he should do, what he shouldn't do. But if he gives me a chat, gives me a call, like, yo, Daink, listen, should I DCA here? I'll be like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You want to DCA? So, but put your bids at 12k, and we'll talk there. Yo, BC Richfield, what's going on, brother? How's it going? Good to have you here, my bro. He's been here 3 days in a row, man. This guy is fucking... Oh, man, that's a lot of love, man. Do me a favor. Follow BC Richfield for me, man. That guy is an absolute legend. And plus, he speaks alpha, man. His stuff. Dusty, no, Richfield. There we go. Give this guy a follow, man. Let's push him up to 6k, man. Come on. Appreciate that, brother. I really appreciate that, man. He's a busy guy and he's making time for us as well. That's how special he is. He works for the Burb Nest as well as a market analyst, and he's a really good analyst. Don't look at the person with the followers. Just because he's got 5k followers doesn't mean that he's shit. Trust me, he's a fucking king. And he's a business-minded motherfucker, though. It's where I'm getting all my tips, bro. Bro, like, you know what? I need to get tips off you, fam. Yeah, give him a follow, Vegeta, man. Everyone else, man, give him a follow because he's a solid geezer. And I had the pleasure to sit down and meet up with him at the Paris conference. And he's a smart guy. He was talking about like technical analysis with me as well, and he understood it. He understands it really well. Plus, he grinded his way, self-taught motherfucker, to get to his position there. And if you're hired by the burp nest, you're working with the burp nest, come on. Come on. You're telling me that he's not worth the follow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that, bro. I really appreciate that, man. You're just bro, we're all legends here, man. But check his content out, man. Give him bare support. Let me give him give him a lot of support as possible. Really, really good guy. Trust me, he's definitely one guy to look out for when it comes to the next bull run. If you're not gonna trade, if you don't want to learn how to trade, he's definitely a guy you want to follow. He's in the right places, man. He's boys with Crypto Burb, man. If you're boys with Crypto Burb, and he's when I say boys, I mean like he's one of the inner circles with Crypto Burb. That's the type of guy you want to follow. So big love to him, man. That's me plugging him in. All right, cool. Let's get back to where we were. Bitcoin dominance, yeah. So I'm not looking for any DCA. So BTC, what's happening? Let's look at the hourly. As we are aware, two things. Number one, we all knew, we talked about this quite a number of times. Range bound environment on the weekly. Nothing's changed. This range has always been stayed in place. So we found resistance there. That was just a retest to me. Now the confirmation for me to go lows. If we start breaking down from here, lose Monday's low, fucking 17.5k taking out liquidity here. And there's liquidity over here. And I've been banging on this for quite some time. It just so happened that we're going to end up doing this really soon, I mean, in my opinion. So if you look on the daily, right, you see this area here. This is a range bound environment that happened. So this low, right, was a rate. Well, I said this high to this low. That's a range bound environment. It just happens that this was about the mid range. I'll show you. If I do this, Control A. Where's the fucking Fibonacci? There we go. So this low to this high, that was the thingy, and you can see what happened. Mid range held in place. I'll prove it to you guys. So this is the high that I'm using, and that's the low I'm using. There you go. And look where we found support over here, mid range, and that's where we found support, 17.8k. So when we bounce off it, we bounce off that 17.8k from this range over here. Alright? And then the liquidity is resting over here at 17.572. Now all we're gonna do is sweep the fucking lows there. Do we hold above it and go back up higher? We don't fucking know. Do something like this. We don't know. We'll figure it out when the time comes. But if we sweep below it, find resistance, you know what to do. Range bound to range bound. 16.9k to 16.1k. And then from there, we'll see what happens. And we lose this low, fucking send this down, man. We're going down to 14k next. 14k, then 12.5k, then 12k, then 11k. And it gets a lot more uglier. I think it's going to happen over, well, if it doesn't happen this year, I think it's going to happen next year. So my honest opinion is, guys, is that you wanna learn how to chart, how to trade, especially in the bear market, because no one's buying anything. You're not making profits from buying anything. At least make profits on the downside, innit? Learn how to short, and then if you learn how to short, you play the game down, and BC Richfield will tell you. You know, Vegeta will tell you. Vegeta's been shorting the markets for some time, man, and he's been killing it. And you guys have seen me shorting the market as well, and we're just making profits on the way down. And in day trades that goes up, we play the upside. You know how it is. We just flip biases quite quickly. Appreciate that, man. Smash the likes, man. I really appreciate that. Alright, cool. Ah, he's blushing here. Nah, bro, you know what? Like, that's the thing is, I'm never gonna forget that. When I actually came into the room, and I remember walking past Crypto Burb, said hi to him as well, and you were at the end of the table. And I went to go and shake your hands, and everyone was sitting down because they didn't really know who I was, like Dusty and them guys as well. And even CB, obviously, they're not gonna know me. I was a small timer in it. And but it was Richfield was the only one who stood up, right, at the end of the table and shook my hand. He's like, Trader Daink. I'm like, oh shit, this guy knows me. And I was gassed. I was really gassed, man. I really appreciate that, man. Big love for that. I want to talk about a few things here. 1 hour, okay. So you see this area here. Let's have a look. Zoom into this. This area here is a key important area here. That's why I highlighted it there. So we had consolidation over here, and what happened is, in the time that went afterwards, let's go on the 4 hours, it makes sense, right? So that down candle here was an important thing. Why? Look, support, and whoops, delete. Come back here. Found some support. Now we take out these lows here, but we're stuck in this range. Instead of actually going up and holding support, you see how price reacted when we got back down. We got up and found support and then pushed up higher. But look what's happening now. It's the same thing over there. Same thing over here. Look at this. Price got down into this key area, this key zone. Price got down, got back up, find support. Right, all this is all support from this low here and shoots back up. When it comes back down, quick test, gets back up, shoots up higher. All right. Same thing happened not too long ago. Oops. Price gets back down, gets back up, holds support, and then shoots back up. But this time is very different now. This time is very different. It doesn't do the same thing. It doesn't come back down, gets back up and hold support. Instead, we come back into the range and we're finding resistance. Can you see it? We're finding resistance off there. Yes, we're holding Monday's mid-range. Okay, that's all fine. Happy days. But the key, the bigger picture on the higher time frame is showing that we're finding resistance off here. So I had these levels drawn out already. On the 4 hours, already showing me quite clearly what's happening. So you're telling me that we can't take liquidity down here? I mean, if I could be wrong. If we reclaim and hold above this, then we can say, yeah, take out liquidity on Monday's high, and we'll see what happens next. But the fact that we're actually back into this range is now a range bound environment from here to here. So if I were to split this out, right? Let me just show you this. If I were to do this from this high here to this low, let's just see what the mid range is. It just so happens, look what happened with the price. We found support at the mid range of this block here. Coincidence? I don't fucking know. I don't believe it's fucking coincidence. I believe it's all planned. This is all planned movement. It's to get everyone all bullish. Say, yeah, we're going to go longs. We're never going to see 20k. We're never going to see... Motherfucker, we're seeing 18k. What are you talking about? This is the last time... It's true. We're not going to see 20k. 20k was resistance. Monthly open. What's BC saying? Yeah, man, John Caboose, 100%. It's a low followers you want to be aware. That's how I found FMG. What the fuck is horning outside? Yeah, that's how I found FMG at 300 followers, and he's one of the sickest scalper I ever know. Yeah, you got to keep the macro view in mind, 100%. You can't lose that out of sight. Learning to trade is the only way. I started actually training November. Lots to learn, lots of ups and downs. And you, man. All right. Thank you so much, BC. You're a sweet guy, man. Bro, you showed me so much love, man. I you know what? I really appreciate that, bro. Stop, man. Stop. I need to focus, innit? You can't be showing me this much love here. Nah, but it's true though. Like you gotta studying the PA, studying the movement of price is the key thing, in my opinion, as well, right? You don't have to study it from me, but as long as you're studying from someone who's reputable, in my opinion, you know you're gonna be in good hands. And market's always manipulated, 100%, 100%. So we found support of this mid-range, right? You know what? I'm going to leave this here. I actually like this. I want to make that as red because that's my 4-hour time zone. Right? And I want to do Monday's range again. Right? So that's Monday's high and Monday's low. There we go. So we're overlapping 2 ranges there. Right? It's going to get a bit messy there. Actually, no, fuck it. Yeah. No. I've got an idea. Right? Control Z. No. Let me do 2 sets of plans. Right? I'll do 2 sets of plans. Right? Do one over this. And I'll do one over here, right? Cool. Let's focus on where we are. Well, look where we are now, right? I did say to you yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? Final resistance here, breakdown. We're coming back to target to June's low. Well, we've done it. We've done June's low. Now we're gonna hang around here for June's low. Now I can see price coming back into here, wicking back up there, and if it breaks down, this has now become a shorting opportunity. Once we lose this low. This is your confirmation to play back down to 17.5k. Wherever the number was, I think it was over here. That liquidity there. And then from there, we'll work it level to level. Okay, so we're going to play this quite short term, right? So for those who actually wants to look for a trade or even study the PA, well, here you go. I'm going to help you out. So we talked about this as a range bound environment yesterday. What the fuck did I highlight that? I don't remember. Fuck that. Anyway, so we can't reclaim this low here. As you can see, it was all support. Come back down to deviation or support, and then we're looking for, is this a deviation or retest? But it's a retest because once we find resistance of that, we start breaking down. We can't even reclaim this at all to go to at least to a monthly open. So now we're looking for what's happened next. All right, so one thing I can do is look at Monday's low, Monday's range. So Monday's range is this high to this high. Okay, I'm gonna change this to blue. Now leave it as red. Leave it for red for now, and all I'm doing now is narrowing it down onto the 1 hour. And I can see price is consolidating right here. Where is it consolidating off? You see this little block here? That's where it's bouncing off there. That's what it's pretty much perfect there. Wicked into it, deviation, wick, wick, wick. Okay, where is it? So we know already, right off the bat, we've got resistance right over here. Right over here. That's where, that's support. Now, in terms of resistance, where's the resistance hanging around? Well, it's just right over here, to be honest. Price is capped within this area here. That's where price is capped. It's a range bound environment which you can play from up, down, until proven otherwise. If I were to be bullish, how would I look for it? It's price need to get back up, hold above it, bullish market structure. Then I can take a long up to the 75% range. Then from the 75% range, be taking back into this area that we talked about, the Monday's low, so previous Monday's low, which is about 19.5k, call it there, and then squeeze into Monday's high to get liquidity there. We'll see what happens there. Do we hold above it and go up for monthly open, or do we actually do a deviation and come back down, get back below here? That's your confirmation, back into 75%, and then back into the range low. That's what we're looking for. Then from there, we'll see what happens, and we know we're going to be some sort of reaction at June's low. June's low is acting as a support right now. So that's what we're looking for. Now, that's the bullish play. Bearish play, how do we play this? So we know if you haven't entered into the short there, I did say to you guys yesterday, I mean, like, if we pop into here, we're looking for a short, but it couldn't even actually do that. If you want confirmation from the downside, let it do its thing. The moment we start losing this area here, not only are we below the mid-range, we're going to be playing back into this area here. We can say 25% of the range is the target. Secondary targets obviously at least to here. Target 2. I expect some reaction there, and then if it gets back below it, let's squeeze back into to Monday's low. Then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we actually do, come back down, do a deviation, and step back up? We don't know. Or does it come down and break down a lot more lower to 70.5k? Right now, that's using Monday's range. What I'm going to also use is that blue range I talked about. Okay. So how would I play this now? So we know we got June's low, and now I'll overlap this over and over again, right? So do you remember this range that I just spoke about now? So we're saying this high is what's capping the market on the upside, and this low is what's capping the market on the downside, right? Really clear, really simple, right? Now, if you were to break this low right here, we know that this is going to be a reaction, but I said target 1 will be here. That'll be target 1, and squeezing back into Monday's low. Monday's low is here, right? Which tends to be the mid-range is over here. I expect some reaction to come into this area here. If we start holding above it, we start holding above the... it's not even a very clean fucking line. Let me do that properly. Sorry about that, guys. And then that's it. Cool. Let's do that properly. Right, so range bound, loses low. Then you know that's your confirmation to enter the short. Back into this area here. And then squeezing it all the way. Probably I'll trim some off at 18.36k, right? And then also here, Monday's low, and that's Monday's low. Then from there, because remember this is the mid range, so the mid range we're gonna have some sort of reaction. We might take out liquidity, step back into it, and then play back higher. We don't know, and if we do, we can play the longs back up to this high there, and then back into this area here. But if we lose the mid range, come into this area here, there's a bit of a deviation, breaks down. This is now your confirmation with your stop loss over here. And you're playing it back to 17.9k, and then from there play back into 17.6k, squeezing it into the liquidity over here. And that's how I would look to actually play the short there. So I expect some sideways movement action going on for the next couple of hours until FOMC. Does that make sense? So that's the OnlyFans. That's for the OnlyFans. Thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate that, man. Appreciate that joke, great. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, Mr. M, give BC a follow, man. The geezer's a fucking legend. One of the top guys I know. And that's the great thing about, when you go to these conferences and stuff like that, and you network, you meet like minds out. Like, he makes me feel stupid. That's how good he is. He's a really, really solid geezer. Give me a second. I really need to get pissed, man. Sorry about that. Let me make a note. Shit. Yeah, just give me a couple of minutes, man. I really need to take a piss. I've been holding this for quite a bit. Okay. Let's delete all that. Yeah, that's 40. Cool. 2 minutes. What's going on, guys? Man, I swear to God, I got a bladder like a 4-year-old, man. Maybe I'm drinking too much. Right there. So that's BTC done. Any questions before we move on? And smash up the likes, guys, man. I got 29 likes, man. And appreciate it, Mr. M. Ning, nice to have you here. Man, BC's actually showed me so much love. It's fucking unbelievable, man. Appreciate that, man. Alright, so Ethereum. Let's have a look what Ethereum is doing. Good old Ethereum. Still in Monday's range. Nothing much more to say. We're going to be doing some sideways action in terms of Monday's mid-range. As you can see over here. Nothing too spectacular. What is capping the market on the upside? Well, what's holding the market is this higher. You can see that, and what's doing the same thing? It's the same thing as BTC actually. The same candle is actually doing the same thing, right? So price is capping here, and it's literally a rinse and repeat of Bitcoin really. If I want to be bullish, how do I be bullish? Get above and hold above this. That'll be bullish action. Then I go back to 25% of the range. From 25% of the range, take out liquidity on Monday's high. From there, I can see price, right? If it doesn't actually thingy, sorry. Yeah, if it doesn't come back into the range itself, and what I can see, if it pops up, I can see us popping into this area here off this lows there, and then from there we'll see what happens. Do we get back down to this range? And then this was the deviation, and then we can say, yeah, we play it back to 25%, back into mid-range, and that's how we're playing it there. Now, if I were to be bearish, how would I play this? Similar to thinking to BTC. Well, really and truly, it's just literally range bound environment, break down, lose this low here, for example, 25% of range, squeezing it back to Monday's low, taking out liquidity at 1280. And then from there, we'll see what happens next. I mean, there's not much to say about Ethereum. I mean, if you look at it this way, let's go on the 4 hours to see what's up. I can see, I want to see us to go back into here, to be honest. this is a range band environment. So let's just say this high here to around this low here. That's the range band environment. I can see us coming back into. I want us to at least at a minimum come back into this area here. So if we go back to Monday's low, we can squeeze into here as extended targets over there, and then from there, do we hold above it and go back up, or do reclaim into Monday and the mid range of Monday's mid range, or do we actually start losing this level? And if we start losing this level, what happens? We'll come back all the way. I see us coming back into this, at least to a minimum into there, 1125. And then from 1125 reaction, get back below. Let's take our liquidity back over here. So around just under 1025. And this is just a range band environment, because this was the original range, right, which popped up, and then we haven't retested it. So this is now, we're looking for a retest. If it were to be bullish, right, I want to see us actually hold the, let's extend that shit as well, right? But if it were to be bullish, I want to see us come back down, right, do something like this, step back in, then I say, yeah, long, well, I can actually enter the trade there, back to 25%, and then into the mid-range. From the mid-range, work our way all the way to the range high, and then see if we can squeeze back into the 1440 level. That's previous all-time high. We're below previous all-time high. We're below the monthly open. It's bearish. It's bearish until proven otherwise. We'll find out what happens after FOMC. That's all it is for ETH. Nothing's changed. The plan's still the same, to be honest. From what I spoke about yesterday, it's still the same shit. And I did say, I said it into the group as well in the country club. I was like, it's going to be a slow day. There's not much to look at, really. I mean, the only thing that popped up, which we're going to talk about, is XRP. Now, XRP popped. Does anyone know what happened with XRP? Was there any reason or any news that made it pop up? XRP, right? Let's have a look. So, if I just delete this right for a second, right? I just want to show you something. I'm just going to show you something, right? And then you tell me what you think. And guys in the DCC, we're going to use this as a basis to actually talk about our next session, our session today, right? You see this here, see this high here, and you see this low there. Look at that, accumulation is here. This was just a deviation, and above there was a deviation. We're back into this zone. We're back into this consolidation here. This is the original point of the point of entry. Original point of consolidation, which made it pop up quite strongly, come back down to range low, go back up, hold it back there, and then go up higher. Right, so now we're back into this area here. So the question is, do we come back up? Do we come back down? Right, and then play back to range low? We don't know. We'll find out level to level. So that's just on a wider scale what we're looking at. Now, if I were to be bullish, I wouldn't be bullish now, because why? It's popped. It's popped. What the fuck am I going to be longing for? What am I going to be buying in fucking XRP? If the market is looking shit and ETH and BTC is looking shit, why is XRP going to pump on its own? Don't fall for that. Don't be a sucker for it, man. You're only going to make losses yourself by actually, jumping into XRP. When it was popping and whatnot, I was like, alright then, fuck it, innit? I'll just wait for the next turn. This is looking at 2019's range. Let's have a look. Because I look at 2018 range. This is 2018's range. See 2018's high over there? That's 2018's high. Yeah, that's 2018's high. Is it? That's a lie. That's not 2018's high. That's September's high in 2018. September's low, approximately. Anyway, this is the ranges I'm looking at. He's looking at 2019. Let's have a look at this. I think I need another chart. XRP USD. Let's have a look. Binance. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, okay. So now I've got more fucking data there. Cool. Let me delete everything else. Delete drawings. Okay, cool. So you look at 2019, which is here. Yeah, that makes sense. So if I were to do a range band environment, that's high to this low. The low on this one comes 1716. Coordinates 1716, and then I'm going to change this color into this pinky color. No, that's a high time. Yeah, there you go. And then let's drop it down to 3 months. You can see it just doesn't look good. What about the mid range, really? I mean, it's just the question is this a deviation in the mid range to go back up to 55 cents, or do we go back down lower? We don't know. We'll find out soon. Dropping it down to the daily, not fucking weekly. Really and truly, this is just accumulation there. See what we're finding here? It's right here. It's on the weekly. This is orange. See this low here? That's the resistance there. That's the key level there, in my opinion. Look, price found resistance, popped up. Obviously, we had a deviation, then it became support all the way there, support there until we lost it. Resistance, resistance, resistance. It's going to be resistance until proven otherwise. So if you reclaim and hold above it, do something like that, then I can say, yep, back into this area here, and then range high, and then from there we'll see what happens next. So until then, it doesn't look like it's going to be good for me. That's my real thinking as well. And he's using 2019's range, right? So 55 cents is his target. I'm guessing that's what he would be looking for, I believe. Me on my section, it just so happens that my mid range is actually 52 cents. So we're not too far from it, and which is why I'm saying this. If I want to, I think this range is much more clearer in my opinion. There's just more data out of it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more going out of it. But anyway, like it makes sense to me. I'm not shitting on him or anything like that. I'm just saying that it makes sense to me. Probably. This lawsuit's been going on for time. It's been on for time. So what we was talking about is this low here. Right, so let's go on the daily. See what happens. We've got a range bound environment here, right? Now the question is, this is it. So the range bound environment is here. This low to, would I say, I'd say this high actually. Yeah, that high. You can see it's quite clear, right? Accumulation, right? Prices consolidating in this area here. We popped up. We're finding some resistance, right, on the daily. Where's the resistance off this consolidation right over here? There. That's where you can see it quite clearly. Consolidation, come into it, resistance, deviation, resistance here. Until we reclaim, if we were to reclaim it, I can take a short-term trade up to this high itself, and then from there, support. I look for longs back into 52.5 cents. And I know like the range high on the 2019 is 55 cents, but I'll be looking for here. This is the range I'll be using myself. But we'll see how it goes if it plays out like that. Now the question is, with what's going on with today, right? If this goes bad, if this goes down south, right? I'm just going to be honest with you. If this goes down south, what's going to happen is we can go down, find resistance, and then this is a shorting opportunity, playing it back to this area here. At least to a mid-range to this here. That'll be target 1 and that'll be target 2. That's what I'll be looking for. And then we'll see what happens is if we start losing this, play back it down to here. So difficult to say. We have to wait for what happens with FOMC today. Once FOMC comes out, we'll see what happens, and then we'll play from there. Only Putin didn't find girls with us. Shit. Fucking hell. What the fuck? Fucking hell, they're coming back, aren't they? These 69 megas. But yeah, that's XRP there. Nothing much to say really. I mean, if I were to narrow it down to 4 hours, let's see what we've got in 4 hour. Yeah, it's finding support off this high though. See this high here. So see how it goes. And next, but to be honest, wait after FOMC. Where would I actually enter in if I want to enter in? Is you can range band over here, get back above there. This is my entry, and we're playing it back up to 55k, 52.5 cents. That's my opinion. 52.5 cents is it? Yeah. What's it? 52.7. So that's the way I would like to play it, because I haven't entered into XRP, but that's for me to actually enter in as a confirmation play. If I want to enter in now, I'll have to put a stop loss over here. A really wide stop loss, to be honest as well, just because we've got this inefficiency that can come back down, fill this out there, and still reclaim and hold above it. This can still happen like that. But if he does this, come back into here on resistance and breaks down, happy days. This is a short. So we'll see what happens. That's what XRP is for me. Nothing much. But it's funny, it's the only one that's popped. Because if you look at someone like, let's look at Solana, which is everyone's favorite really. Solana looks like fucking dog shit though. We're below the mid range of the macro range itself from this range. So this range over here, from below the mid range. Once we lose this low here, that's holding a support. Once we lose this low, you know that's your target over here. 25%, from 25%, swipe it down, take out this liquidity here at range low. And that'll be like $19. And that $19, we'll see what happens. Do we come to $15? We'll see what happens there. But level to level. That's it for me really, actually. Nothing much to say. Plans are all there for ETH, BTC, XRP. And yeah, I'm going to be a lot more patient here. All right? PR3 vibes it is as well. So you got me waiting. Yeah, FOMC is going to be a bit tricky one. So, I mean, the only thing you can do is like scalp trades. So if you look at BTC, all right, let's do a quick one. Yep, you know what, fuck it. So we take out all this stuff. Let's drop it down to the 5 minutes. See what's going on. If you want to scalp trade this, right, this is how you play it. So where do we have our levels? Let's say 15 minutes. No, it was a 1 hour. Let's go to 1 hour. Our levels are here. Right. So that's one level. From this low here. And then the next level is this low here. Right? So if we drop it down to 15 minutes, let's see how this is actually reacting. It comes like that. Okay, let's do it a different way. 15 minutes. Let's go on the 5 minutes. Fuck it, let's go on 5 minutes. Let's try and find a range band environment. We'll play that. So the range band environment we got here. This low here, and this high here. Yeah, okay, let's do that. So this low here, and I'd say it would be this high there, right? That's a range band environment. If I were to do a mid range, it'd probably be around here, which makes sense. And we're at the mid range. So if I wanted to do a scalp trade, let it do its thing, gets above and hold above it, then I can say, yeah, that'll be my entry. They got liquidity over here, pop it back into 19.16k, and see what happens if we come back below it and short it back down to the mid range, and then from the mid range come back into this area here, and then back down to range low. That's what I'll be looking for in terms of a scalp trade. And just play it back up and down. You know, that's all it is. If we were to be bearish and we lose this level, right, because we're getting capped at that high, right? For example, we can't reclaim this level and it starts breaking down. Now from this area here, I know I can actually enter in target 1, squeeze it back down to target 2. And that's it really. Keep it nice and simple on the scalp trade. And I think I'll probably focus on scalp trading in terms of today more than anything else. So it looks quite good on the scalp trade. You can see how pivotal this level is. Support, resistance, get above. Support, deviation, get above. You know, all this is support. Once we lose this, we come back as resistance. Now we get back up and we're holding support. Now the question is, do we actually continuously hold support, or do we lose this area here? So we don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's the trade there in terms of scalp. Any questions before I head off? Just leave it there. Morningstar, how's it going, brother? But if the lawsuit end amid report wins, XRP gets regulatory clarity, it will blast. Yeah, it will blast. I think it will pop. But then you have to remember, if you start blasting, how many people actually been holding Ripple for since like 2017? Who's thinking about $5? They were talking about $5 in the bull run of 2021, and it just so happens that it never went to $5. It went to like $1 or something like that, and that was it. That was all it did. It didn't perform that great, if you ask me. You know, let's have a look. If I delete that, let's go on the monthly. Well, actually, it did perform quite well from the lows. But compared to what everyone was looking for, like that $5 marker, I remember that was saying a lot of stuff. So that 2021, let's say here, from the lows of like at the beginning of the bull run, right? When he got really crazy, from the lows itself to the high, it did a 10x. You know, it just did a 10x. It literally did a 10x, and that was it. Wasn't anything spectacular, in my opinion, compared to some of these coins. So if you look at Luna, Solana. I mean, Luna, we know what happened afterwards. Even Matic did a lot better. Did Matic do better? Yeah, Matic did a lot better. Come on, look at this, man. How you going to actually shit on Matic, innit? So on this, from there to there, let's just say that's what, bro, that's 79x there. So you know what I'm saying? Like even like 70x, 50x, and XRP did a 10x. Come on, man. Even Ethereum did better than that. Ethereum from here did a lot more than a 10x. You know what I'm saying? I think it did 25, didn't it? From 2020. Let's say from here, from these lows there, breakout there. It's a 13x, and you're telling me XRP did a fucking 10x? Come on. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta look at it this way. I mean, I can pick out the low points itself, right, and it still be more than XRP, but I think, yeah, I'm not really fussed about it. You know, I'm not really fussed about XRP that much. In all honesty. For which one? For which coin you looking at, Nick? XRP, is that what you're referring to, Nick? Or are you talking about the Scalp on? Oh, Scalp on BTC. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's go BTC. So 5 minutes. Right then. So we said this is how it is. This is the low, and this is the high. Okay. And this is approximately the mid. Nope, no, that's not it. This is approximately the mid range. Is that it? No, a bit lower than that. Thinks about here. There we go. That looks about here we go. So now what's happening is you can see. Let's drop it down to the 3 minutes and see what's going on. So we said we want to get this, reclaim this high. We can start looking for longs. Okay. So if we start losing this low, right, start bouncing off it, I'll put a hard stop over here. Right, a stop loss over there, playing it back down to at least a minimum of here as target 1, and then playing it back down to target 2. If we start holding above it and reclaim, then I'll start to cut the trade. It's a scalp, so you gotta be in and out. Don't want to hold this for too long, okay? But if I were to play, for example, on the upside, and let's just say this was just a deviation, and we come back up and reclaim. I mean, I can play a stop loss here once we reclaim this. This is an entry there, looking at targeting there, mid range. So the range high. Once we reclaim the range high, and then I could, even if you want this as a confirmation, right? For example, you have to put a stop loss over here, right? Oh fuck, you know that's it. Yeah, it's going down. I think I may have missed this one. May have missed this trade actually. Let's have a look. Let me delete this. Make things a bit more neater. You see that? Let's gap in the market. So I won't look to short just yet. I have to be a little bit more patient and see us close below here. A nice close over here, right? Then a retest, and then that'll be my entry here. Stop loss here, playing it to this area here as target 1, and then we see how we can get into target 2. We can squeeze it in down to target 2 and then do that as target 3. So we'll see what happens. See, 18, 17 seconds, and we're trying to reclaim this area. So that's why you wouldn't enter in just yet. 5, 4, 3. Right, so we're on the range. I think on the support. We're still on support because price can still range bound in this area here. So you don't want to start entering here. If you want to enter a short, you have to put a stop loss. Probably. Let's have a look. Yeah, no. I'll put a stop loss here because what could happen is price can back up, take that out, and then break down, and then that's a shorting opportunity with a stop loss here, for example, and then play it back down to mid range, playing it down lower. So you want to be a bit careful and a bit tedious on this one as well. Yeah, I want to put a stop loss right here. I have to keep it a bit more wide over there, just to accommodate a little bit of a gap. Yeah, but with FOMC, it's not safe, isn't it? Things just get really volatile. We don't fucking know, innit? Nothing is safe, 100%. What do I think about RVN? I haven't looked at RVN. I think, let's have a look. You're welcome, Nick. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, if you want more aggressive entries, right? Like I said in it. So this is how you narrow it down to more of an aggressive entry. So you see this area here, right? This area there. Look what's happened. You see how that's all finding resistance. So if price come back up and retest this, because this is all, this area consolidation is now all resistance, resistance, resistance. There's just a lot of resistance here. Aggressive trade would be here. An entry over here with a stop loss above the box, above this high here. Playing it where? Down to there, and then to this area here, take out these liquidity there and into range low. So essentially, if I were to actually draw just like a short entry there, let's say this is my entry there and this is my stop losses over here, it's essentially what a fucking that's a 5-bar trade. That's how one would look at it. So let's see what happens. See what I mean? You don't enter in right here just yet. You have to wait for it to smash below. Once if we get a close below here, for example, that gives me an idea that, all right, then we've lost this level of support, and a retest will give me an indication to actually enter the trade for a short. So price can come into this area and still be bearish and break down. If it breaks down here, I can still enter here. What the fuck happened there? Sort of banging it. What's up? Anyway, yeah. And then that would be my entry there, for example, and I still put my stop loss there. Hey, MFWIC, what's going on, brother? Do they have hotkeys on exchanges? I feel like it takes me forever to handle trades unless it's market orders and flush flows. You know what it is, Justin? It's all about patience and taking time. It's like the hotkeys for what? What kind of hotkeys are you looking for? So let's see how we react there. So see, now we come to this area, right? So it's a valid trade to take take a run over here with a stop loss there, and then but you run the risk, right, when playing aggressive of a stop run. That can happen, but you can play in half a risk or a third risk as well, and then you can add the rest in once you get below here. Let's just see what happens now. I'm gonna narrow this down to the 1 minute. See, he's going up higher. So I think what happens is now, as we're watching this, is that you see this high here, the double top. We got a higher possibility of running those highs there, and we're gonna watch how this box handles. Now the question then comes down to this: is do we come up into here, do a stop run and start breaking down, and this I can enter a trade here. Confirmation will be below the mid range. That's the confirmation there. Or do we actually end up not only taking up the highs, but we come back down and find support and do something like this, and then run up these range high there. So that's what we're looking at for now. Yeah, I'm here. No, I'm not live trading at the moment. I'm gonna head out. I'm actually starving right now. I'm gonna make myself some lunch. But I'm just watching this. If it gives me an opportunity, I might step in. The problem is I'm so hungry. I'm really hungry right now. So this reaction is, let's have a look. Drop it down to 15, 30 seconds. There we go. See, run the highs. We'll run the highs now. See what I mean? You need to be very careful when you run the highs. This is the area we need to look out for. On the 1 minute, 3 minutes. To me, that's a short now. Aggressive shorts now. Stop loss above here. That's what it looks like to me now. See what happens on the next 20. Just wait a little bit longer. Okay. Right. Drop it down to 15 seconds. Let's have a look how we are reacting. 15 seconds, can't even close above there. Double top here. Shorting opportunity right now. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. No, we just need to break down. Come on. Let's see what happens. Let's see. I'm happy to get stopped out. Got half a position there. You see what I mean? Like, you gotta be careful. Like, you can enter in aggressively right here, right? When we retested this block here, we can enter in with stop loss there. Not a problem. But the only downside is that you want to. Like, I think I'd be patient. See if we get a stop run. Because if we get a stop run, what happens is we come back down and then do something like this. See what's happening right now? Price is not able to reclaim that box. We're wicking into the box, but then it's getting sold. Oh fuck! I got stopped out. Okay, so then we have to flip bias now. Yep, that close here is a long for me now. I have to flip bias. That's the thing with scalping. It'd be very, very quick to flip. Go to Ray China. Look, you know, shit. My camera's actually turned off on me as well. Yeah, let's go to range high. Never mind. We'll see what happens up there. FOMC is going to be, and that's the thing with FOMC. Be very careful, guys, because on a normal time, normally what could happen most of the time is that runs the highs, come back down, breaks down, and this will be confirmation over here. But right now we're making higher prices. Market structure is bullish as well. You can see, you know, it's consolidating, make a low, lower low. We don't make a lower high. We don't make a high high. Make a lower low. So he gave me that confluence that yeah. So we come back here and then retest it. We could actually do a stop run, but the fact that it's actually broken market structure, clean smash above the blue box, the box itself, showing me that we're gonna go up to range high. All right then. Sound is lagging. There was 84% for 75 basis point. What do you think? I think we go to 100. I think we do 100. I don't see why. I mean, even if it is 75, it's still bad for the market anyway. You know? What's the dollar index doing? Breaking down. So run those highs over there. A retest over here. We'll see what happens. FOMC, man. It is cutting in and out. I'm really sorry about that. I'm going to head out though anyway. Alright? Plans are set there for ETH and BTC and whatnot. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow, right? So we'll see what happens there. So just be patient as well. Probably better to actually not trade and just and take things a little bit easy. But yeah, just be careful now because it's gonna get really messy, especially today and tomorrow. But yeah, thank you, appreciate that, guys, man. And I hope to catch you guys soon. And Vegeta, I will DM you in a bit. I'm just gonna make some fucking lunch in a bit now, right? So catch you guys tomorrow. Take care, lads. Take care of yourself.